Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and this is truly one of my favorite times of year because I always love the ColourPop fall edit. I love fall colors, I love ColourPop, so when the two merge, it's truly a magical time of year. That may sound overly dramatic, but just wait until you see this eyeshadow palette. The fall edit collection was pretty large this year. I didn't order everything, I just got the things that really kind of called to me. There was a collection of Supernova shadows. I didn't order any of those. I'm just not huge on liquid eyeshadow. And there were 6 Luxe lipsticks in this collection. I only ordered 2 of them, but I did get both the highlighter palette and the eyeshadow palette, of course. Let's just get right into it. We'll talk about the 2 Luxe lipsticks that I got first. These don't have any special packaging for the fall edit collection, just the standard rose gold packaging with the stars on it. Same with the boxes. 5 out of the 6 Luxe lipsticks in the fall edit were mattes, and then 1 was a cream finish. I prefer the cream finish Luxe lipsticks. The cream finish Luxe lipstick is called Better Off. I'll show you a lip swatch here of Better Off on its own, since I am wearing both of these lip colors combined during the talking portions of this video. Better Off is a really toasty reddish orange. Then we have Electric Feel. This, of course, is a matte finish, and this is a lighter pinky nude shade. Like I said, I actually ended up wearing both of these mixed together for my look today. I applied Better Off all over the lips, and then I took some Electric Feel on my finger and just patted it on top to blend it in. The nude shade kind of tones down the orangey shade, and I like the finish that I get with the cream and the matte mixed. It gives me a really comfortable, smooth feeling satin finish on the lips. The Luxe lipsticks are priced at $7 each on the ColourPop website. There is a bundle with all 6 fall edit lip colors in it. That one is priced at $36. It's called Like a Snack, and that is currently sold out on the ColourPop site. Hopefully they'll restock it soon. If you're interested in that, the bundles are usually a pretty good deal, as long as you're gonna like all the colors that are in the set. Now let's talk about this little baby. This is the Crush on You palette. This is a Super Shock highlighter palette. This one's priced at $18. It has 4 shades inside. The shade names are printed on the inside of the palette. I love that ColourPop is doing this now, but they are also on a sticker on the back here. Both of the palettes have an animal print theme. This one is a little bit more simple than the eyeshadow palette. It's a pink background with some orange kind of leopard print. Is it leopard or cheetah? Let's look it up. Fun fact, according to the Google machine, this is a leopard print. The leopards have these more open spots called rosettes, whereas cheetahs have the closed spots. So if you see what I mean, how these look like little loops and these are just spots, leopard, cheetah. Now we know. Typically, the Super Shock formula needs to stay sealed in the little pots with the screw-on lids. I'm not really sure how well these are gonna stay sealed in this palette since it is just a magnetic closure, but I've had this for about a week. So far, they all still feel really creamy and soft like they're supposed to. They all apply really well. I guess only time can truly tell how well this packaging will work for the Super Shock formula, but so far, as long as the lid stays closed, it seems to do the trick for me. I'm gonna show you some quick finger swatches of these highlighters. I like to apply these with my fingers and not so much with a brush, so I'm gonna show you finger swatches because that's what I like to do. First up, we have this icy shade. This one's called Talk in Code. Next, a silvery pale pink called Poker Face. A classic gold shade, this one's called Drop a Pin. And lastly, a really pretty rose gold called Class Act. Today I'm wearing 2 of these shades mixed together, the top 2 shades here called Talk in Code and Poker Face. So I'm gonna show you just a quick little demo of me applying these Super Shock shadows. I use my finger and I swipe into Talk in Code and Poker Face back and forth a little bit. Then I just take that finger and tap along the tops of my cheekbones and sort of blend it in with patting motions with my finger. And then I will go back over with my damp makeup sponge just to make sure that there's no harsh lines on the face and that everything sort of melts in seamlessly. I love the Super Shock formula, so I am very happy with this palette. I think there's a decent variation in the shades in here so that this palette really can work for a variety of skin tones. So I'm happy to see that. I think that the lighter shades are just more suited to my skin tone. However, I can definitely see myself using the 2 shades on the bottom row more in the summertime when I have a tan, or that rose gold shade I think would be beautiful as a bit of a blush topper on me. And of course you can always use your highlighters as eyeshadows too. So all in all, definitely happy with the Crush on You palette. And lastly, the Good Sport palette. I can't tell you how excited this palette makes me. We've got the spicy animal print packaging. The shade names are printed on the back. And when you open it up, the shade names are also printed inside next to the pans. This makes me very happy. This fall color scheme is just, it's not fair to call it a fall color scheme because these are the kind of colors I want to wear year round. But I really, really love the shades in here. We have 7 mattes and 5 shimmers, such a good mix, especially because I know a lot of us like to wear an all matte eye sometimes once the cooler weather rolls around. This is a very colorful palette, but they did colors in a way that I think is really approachable even for people who don't like to wear a lot of color. I love that there are just a couple neutrals in here that are going to be staples, at least for me. A nice pale champagne is a must-have in a palette for me for the inner corner highlight. And then this warm, medium, toasty orangey brown is the perfect transition shade. Otherwise, we're seeing a lot more color to work in here. We've got yellow, purple, berry, green, so many colors, but it's not a rainbow palette. It's not so overwhelming that people are going to be intimidated by it. And all these shades, even though there is a lot of color in here, I feel like they really, really work together well. I am going to show you a quick demo of how I did my eye look today using a lot of the green shades in this palette. First, let's go ahead and do some swatches. As always, I'm going to be doing both finger and brush swatches. I'll be swatching on the back of my hand with absolutely no primer down. Finger swatches will be on top and then the brush swatches will be below. For my brush swatches, I'll be using my e.l.f. flat eyeshadow brush and I'll clean the brush off in between each shade using my Vera Mona color switch. These are the swatches of the top row of the palette. Finger swatches are on top, brush swatches are below. First up, we have a shimmery champagne shade. This one's called Wild Out. Next, a deep burnt orange called Hooky. The next one is called Rookie. This one's really interesting because it's a shimmery rust, but it is just jam-packed with little blue and purple micro glitters. And I'm actually surprised at how well this applied with a brush. I expected virtually no payoff with the brush and I think it looks pretty decent. Lastly, we have a bright purple matte shade. This one's called Sista. Here's the second row of the palette. First up is a bright shimmery yellow called Licious. Next we have a warm medium tan called High Hopes. A gorgeous matte Merlot called Reckless. Look how beautiful this shade is. Lastly, we have this matte yellow called Trooper. This shade is truly hard to describe. It's like if mustard and butter had a baby, that would be Trooper. This is just fall in a swatch, and I love it. Here are the swatches of the last row of the palette. These first 2 shades are really interesting because they're like a grayish green. The shimmery shade is called Hooked, and it's truly a khaki gray green. Very pretty, very, very different from anything in my collection. Same goes for this matte shade called Trophies. It looks a lot more green in the pan, but when you apply it, it's like a brown, gray, green mixture. So much more beautiful than it sounds. Really super interesting shade and perfect for fall. I love this one. Next we have this very bright, almost electric green shimmer called EBB. And lastly, a dusty purple matte called Flow. This is the only shade that I was disappointed with performance-wise. It's just a little patchy and not really my fave. Now that you've seen the palette swatched, let's go ahead and jump into a quick tutorial using the Good Sport palette, and then I'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end. I'm starting off with my favorite eye base. It's the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. Then I just dabbed a little bit of setting powder on top of there to give us a nice smooth surface to work on. First, I'm going to start with my transition shade. I'm actually going to build up a few colors in my crease, starting with this one called High Hopes. I'm dusting that really lightly into the crease of my eye. Then I'm going to go back and blend over with a fluffy brush using the shade Trooper really lightly to add a little bit more of a golden tone to that crease area. Then for some drama, I'm going to use the shade Trophies with a small fluffy brush and target that on the very outer corner of my eye. I'm not being too precise with Trophies just yet because I am going to do a lot more blending. So I'm going to go back to High Hopes with that ColourPop blending brush and work that into the crease to smooth out the edges. Then I'm going to take the shade Hooked on my fingertip and pat that all over the lid. For a little pop of color, I'm going to take EBB on my fingertip and pat that right in the center of my lid. For my lower lash line, I'm going to go back into the shade High Hopes on a small flat brush and sweep that right along the lower lashes. Then I just took a little bit more of that Trophies shade to bring in a little bit more depth to the outer corner. And my favorite part of my eye look is the inner corner highlight. I used Wild Out on my pinky finger and built that up around the inner corner of the eye. Then I curled my lashes and added some Wonder Beauty Unlashed mascara. That completes this shimmery olive green fall fabulous eye. I really, really love how this turned out. No one's gonna be surprised to hear this. I freaking love this palette. I know a lot of people really, really love this packaging. I'm not wild about animal prints. See what I did there? Okay, I'll stop. I think it's pretty, it's cute. It's not like my favorite thing in the world, but these shades though, I love the shade selection in here. I think this is such a beautiful palette for fall. I would wear this year round. I love these colors. It's interesting yet approachable. It's not too bright, but it's not too neutral. It's not boring. It's really, really, really well balanced. The only thing I would change is this bottom purple shade down here called Flow. It just doesn't really do it for me. It's a little bit patchy. It takes a little bit more work to blend out. And between having this brighter purple and this really beautiful Merlot color, I kind of wish that this had been the same sort of dusty purple shade, but in a shimmer formula. That's really the only thing I would change about this palette. I love it. I love it. This could be one of my top ColourPop palettes of all time. And you know, I've tried them all and I've loved pretty much all of them. Yet again, so excited about the fall edit for this year. I enjoy all of the items that I picked up. I love the Luxe lipstick formula, but I am a palette fiend, so I'm more excited about the palettes, particularly the Good Sport palette. I just think is really something special. If you want to see more swatches and more photos of this collection and all the other things I review, make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'm always posting there every single day. That way, if you want to hang out more, we can hang out on the gram. Now, I want to hear what you think about this fall edit collection. Have you picked up any of these items? Are you just as obsessed with fall as I am? Leave a comment and let us know what you think. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. I'm fine. Do you like my candle? So festive. Huh? Could you hear me clapping when I said that? Sometimes I just get excited. Lipstick. I just looked it up, so why don't we learn a science thing? I've had a lot of fun playing around with this. Duh, obviously I'm gonna like it. Have we met? Actually, we haven't. Hi. I'm not gonna apologize. I freaking love fall. I love fall colors. I love pumpkin scented candles. I like really cozy sweaters and drinking hot coffee drinks, Bath and Body Works sales, all of these things. They make me happy. So I'm gonna do. #fall for life. Okay, gotta go edit now and drink more coffee, obviously, because I need it, because I obviously don't have enough energy today. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.